Hey guys, welcome. It's day 14 and today we've got a nice 30-minute mobility session coming at you. So let's get right into it. I want you to inhale and reach, spread the muscles between the ribs. And then exhale, come to center. Inhale, reach the other way. Nice big breath. Just opening up along the side body, allowing that inhale breath to expand through the ribs and the belly. Let's do one more round here. Good. Let's get into all fours and find a neutral spine to begin with. So hands right underneath your shoulders and knees right underneath your hips. You're gonna inhale and drop the belly, open up your collarbones, tuck your shoulders back. Exhale, really curl through the spine, draw belly button up and in. Push your spine through your shoulder blades. Inhale forwards. And exhale, curl. Active through the front of the core. Last one here, exhale, curl. Find that neutral spine again, and we're just gonna rock side to side. So bring shoulder and hip together on one side, and then same thing on the other. Good, tuck your toes and push back into down dog. Let's take a moment here, just take a few breaths. We can alternating pressing one heel down, other knee bends. Get a nice stretch down through the back of one leg at a time. Good, press both heels down to the floor and stay still here. Let's get 30 seconds of just breathing. Inhale, expand belly, relax pelvic floor, and as you exhale, draw pelvic floor up and into the body. Pressing the heels down towards the floor. On your next exhale, bring your right foot forward outside your right hand and drop your back knee to the floor. Let's hang out here for a moment. You can untuck those back toes. Just allow the hips to kind of hang down. Good, let's do a few of our greatest stretches. So bring that elbow down towards the floor. And exhale, reach up, open. Inhale, elbow down. And exhale, reach up, stack. One more, inhale, elbow down. And exhale, reach up. Good, hand down, tuck the toes, and push back. Open up the hamstrings here. Inhale forwards, and exhale, shift back again. Inhale forwards, and exhale, shift back. We're gonna hang out here for a few breaths. When we're doing stretches, try not to go past where a comfortable stretch is. We don't want to be holding our breath. We want to be able to breathe through it. So bring yourself to the end of your range of motion, but don't stress your nervous system out trying to push it farther than you can go. We need to teach our body that it's safe to be in this posture, and part of that is by relaxing through the breath, our nervous system. Come forwards and push back into a down dog. Take a few breaths here. And then bring that left foot forward outside the left hand. Drop the back knee down to the floor. Let's hang the hips here for a few breaths, just allowing the hips to fall down. Breathing, and untuck that back toe. Now let's inhale, bring your left elbow down towards the floor, and exhale, reach up towards the sky. Inhale, elbow down, and exhale, reach up. Good, bring your hand down. Let's rock back, open up the left hamstring. Try not to tilt your hips away. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. It's okay if our bodies make noise. Good, let's hang out in this hamstring stretch for a few breaths. Releasing the left hamstring. Good. Come forward, tuck the back toes, and push back down dog. Take a few breaths here. We can walk the heels again, alternating one heel pressing down, other knee bending. Good, then take the left foot into the middle, raise your right leg up, bend the knee, stack the hips, open up through the front of the hip and the quad on the right side. And then bring that leg forward for pigeon. So we're bringing the shin, trying to get it parallel to the front of our mat. It's okay if it doesn't quite reach there. Back leg shooting back nice and straight. So let's stay raised up here for a moment, shoulders back, collarbones spread. And then walk the elbows down onto the floor. We're gonna stay here for 30 seconds at least, just breathing and allowing these muscles to release, trying to keep our hips level, so not allowing ourselves to kind of rock out of the stretch. Breathing through it, nice long exhales. Do a few more breath cycles here. Good. Walk the hands back and then push back into down dog. Press both heels down towards the floor. Bring the right foot into the middle. Left leg reaches up, bend the knees, stack the hips one on top of the other, and kick that left heel back. So we're opening up through the front of that left quad into the hip. Nice stretch, and then bring that leg forward for pigeon on the other side. Back leg, going straight back. Stay elevated here, spread the collarbones, tuck the shoulders back, and then come down onto elbows again. So we did 45 seconds on the last side. We'll do the same here. Just breathe and focus on relaxing. We are supported by the floor. There's nothing that our legs need to do to hold on in this position. We can just let go. of that. Press back into a down dog. Take a few breaths here, just still, both heels pressing down. Good, and then bring the knees down, come back and bring right foot forward. Tuck that tailbone under. We're in our half kneeling position here. We're gonna be active through our core. Reach both arms up. Feel that nice stretch through the left hip and quad. We're not hanging on it. We're keeping the hips right over the knee, but we're tucking that tailbone under. Good, with the arms up, we can tilt towards the right, so towards the side of the front leg. Opening up the side of the body. Good, bring it back. And then walk that front foot forward. We're gonna hinge down. Good, heels pressing down into the floor. Straightening out through that leg, trying to keep our hips level. Few breaths here. Releasing that posterior chain. Good, and then coming back to our 90-90, let's get a nice little twist. So leverage left hand onto right knee, standing nice and tall in this position. Look over your back shoulder. Good, let's switch over to the other side. So bring the knee down, other leg up. Same thing, tuck the tailbone under, active through the front of the core, and then let's raise those arms up. Good, bring both arms over to the left side, opening up even more through that side of the body, down that line, hip and quad. Good, bring it back to center. Release the hands and get into that twist. Right hand on left knee, standing nice and tall on the knee. And then as we exhale, twisting away. Good. We can have a little water break here. Grab something to drink. And we're gonna get into a deep squat. So if you find a deep squat challenging, maybe you want to elevate yourself up with a yoga block. You can be supported here, maybe by one yoga block. Maybe you can get a little bit deeper. Maybe we're like this. If you can do it without, that's ideal. Okay, so let's get into it. We want the feet wide enough where your heels are not up floating like this. Feet wide enough apart that you can get the heels on the floor. Then elbows to the knees, hands in prayer, and open up the chest. Drive the elbows into the knees. Sit up nice and tall. Good. So we're gonna be here for a whole minute. We're allowing the pelvic floor to relax as we inhale, thinking about that flower blooming, whatever visualization works for you to connect. We can shift a little bit side to side. And take left elbow into left knee, reach the right arm up. Oh, nice little twist here. Good, same thing on the other side. Elbow to knee, pressing in, staying lifted, reach up. Good, palms in prayer, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, expand, relax. Good. And come on out of that. Oof, juicy. Okay. Nice tall pelvic tuck here. Undo a little bit of that tension in the front of the hips. And then we're gonna tuck the toes, do something for the feet. So we're tucking the toes. We're gonna sit back onto our heels. Try to get both toes aligned so one foot isn't further forward than the other. Bring the knees down and sit back. And this can be so juicy for the arches. It's nice. We want to be, when we're doing our workouts, connected to the floor, active through our feet. So we want to make sure that we're giving them a little bit of love and not getting really tight through our arches. This is where the posterior chain starts, the bottom of the foot, and then all through the calf, hamstring, glutes, all the way up the back of the body. This is where our power generation hits the floor. So stay here for a few more breaths. Notice if one foot is okay and the other foot is screaming. My right foot is just in agony. And my left foot's totally fine. All right, we can untuck the toes, bring the pressure forwards, untuck, and sit back on that flat foot. Again, just to kind of flatten things out again. And we're gonna bring ourselves into a seated kneeling position, and we're working on some ankle mobility. So I want the toes kind of in line with the knee of the seated side. And then we're going to, keeping the heel on the floor, press forward. So what we're looking for is to try to get to our comfortable end range of motion on this ankle flexion. So we're looking to increase our ankle mobility, and this can be a thing that limits how deep we can get into a squat, and then other things might start to take over, or even in a deadlift. And perhaps if you can't get so deep with the hips, then it starts to load the low back a little bit too much. So ankle mobility is really important. Good. We can kind of rock a little bit, but keeping that heel rooted and watching that we're not experiencing any pain in the knee. Good, release, and then let's swap over to the other side. Same setup, toes at the same line as the knee, and then we're gonna start coming forwards here. Adding a little bit of your body weight onto that thigh and hinging forward, feeling a release through the back of the ankle into the calf. Let's do one more breath in, and nice long breath out. Good, and then we can release out of that and into legs forward fold. So stretching the legs forwards, sitting up nice and tall, kind of pull the flesh out, sit up tall and hinge forward. So I don't want to be rounding yet through the spine. We're gonna keep this nice and flat and come forward as much as you can. This is kind of as far as I can get before I start to round through the low back. You can, even if you're feeling like 90 degrees is where you're at, you can prop your hands up from behind and just hold yourself into that 90 degrees. For a lot of people, we've got tight hamstrings and it's difficult to get further than 90 degrees. We're just gonna hold here for a few breaths, grabbing whatever you can, toes back towards your shins. Good, release, and then take the one leg out, bring it in, and now we're gonna hinge forward just on the one side, and we can allow a little bit of curling to happen through that low back. I like to kind of anchor myself across so that I keep my body straight forwards. Making sure that you can still breathe through and we're not overdoing it. Good, and then tilt the body to the side, reach across. Nice opener from the hip along the side of the body here. Good, and then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So bring the other foot forwards, take the flesh out, and then fold down, grabbing wherever. You can kind of leverage yourself across so that we stay forward. One more breath here. And then reach across, other side, opening up. Your inhale breath, spreading your ribs, stretching those intercostal muscles. Good. All right. Bring the feet together and the knees apart. Anchor your hands underneath by interlacing your fingers. We're going to lower the shoulders down so the shoulders are rooted. We can give a little shake through the knees. Open up the inner thighs. And let's roll the neck so we can just relax the legs. Bring the right ear towards the right shoulder and just take a breath here. Allow the left side of the neck to open up and release. And then slowly roll forwards and around so the left ear is towards the left shoulder. Good. Roll again to the right. We'll do 2 times per side. And then the left. Good. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit more into the inner thighs. So if you've got a thin yoga mat or you're on a hard floor, you may want to kind of double up under one leg. So I'm gonna do that here. I've got the inner part of my knee on the floor, and then the other leg is out straight. Okay, as straight as I can get, just the inside of the foot on the floor. I'm gonna rock back and forwards. Where the stretch intensifies is when we come back, so that's where I want the exhale to be. So let's breathe out as we come into that stretch, and then lean forward, release. So we're just going to do these adductor rocks, opening up the inner thighs, the muscles that add our legs together, adductors. Good, and then switch it over to the other side, same thing. I like to have a little bit of a pad under the knee, and then leg out. And then let's rock into the stretch and out. So for the back foot, if you've tucked the toes, then you're going to have a little bit less range of motion, might feel a little bit safer. If you really want to go for it, you can untuck the toes and then you can push a little bit further, but I feel like I need to tuck the toes today. Good, one more. Nice, and then we're gonna get into both sides at the same time for like a frog stretch. So I've got my knees out wide again and my feet behind me at the same level. So my shins are kind of parallel to the ends of my mat. Okay, so if you can get wider, then the knees go wider and the feet go wider. From the side, we can come down onto the elbows. Allow your legs to spread as we relax into it. We're just gonna keep the hips right over the knees. Like in the same, we don't have to rock forward and back. We can just keep it centered and allow, as we breathe, maybe the legs slide. And release that inner thigh. Okay, support yourself with your hands as you come up and draw the legs together. Good, all right. In all fours here, let's do another round of cat-cow. So inhale, drop the belly, spread the collarbone, and exhale, curl through. Tuck your tailbone under and push your spine through your shoulder blades. Let's do a few of these. Good. Come down to wide leg child's pose. Let's hang out here for 30 seconds. Just sink down and relax. No holding on. Allow your belly to expand as you inhale and to contract in from the bottom up as you exhale. Good, walk your hands back a little bit. So our hips are gonna stay here. We're gonna reach our right arm underneath, bring your right shoulder down to the floor. Good, press up, reach up. Now we're getting thoracic mobilizers, but with our hips rooted. So as we exhale, we reach up, twist. Good, one more. And then swap over to the other side. Reach the left arm through and press up, reach up, exhale. One more. Good, and a little child's pose position, cat-cow. So pull those arms back, spread the collarbones, and push, tuck the tailbone. Good, bring the knees in, walk the hands forwards, and push back into down dog again. Pressing both heels down towards the floor. Take a few breaths. Good, shift forward to plank, super slow, push up coming down. And then we're going to come onto our elbows. Pull the collarbone open and a little back bend here. Proud through the chest. Good. We can lie down onto the floor. You can have a pillow maybe under your head. And here we're going to grab our ankle on our top leg and just bring it towards our glutes. Nice, comfortable side-lying hip and quad opener. Few breaths here. You can kick that knee back a little bit. Good, and then release. From here, we're gonna stay on the same side. I need to scoot forward a little bit, give myself some space. We're gonna high five our hands in the front and then draw a circle all the way around. Ooh, and then close it off. So nice big circle. We're opening up through our chest and we're focusing on keeping our hips rooted. So you're gonna come around. If you can keep your arms straight, that's ideal. But I'm still getting a nice stretch here through my arm, and then you can close. So find a spot that feels especially tight as we try to keep the hips stacked one on top of the other, and then open up into a twist. And that arm is hanging, it's opening up the front of our shoulder, our chest. Take a breath there. And then rotate all the way around. We can switch to the other side for our quad and hip stretch. Here, holding on. A few breaths through. Good. Release that and then get set up for open book. We're gonna high five in the front, rotate arm all the way around, nailed it, and then across. So we're looking to find that opening. It may be anywhere around here where you feel a nice stretch through the front of the chest. If you're breastfeeding, if you're bottle feeding, and you're spending a lot of time hunched over baby or just carrying your children, for any of us, a lot of times the chests get really tight. Last one here, take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Good, push yourself up out of that and let's come into a seated position. Comfortable, cross-legged, whatever works for you. We're gonna interlace one arm underneath the other. High five the palms and bring the elbows down. Take a few breaths here. Maybe rock the head side to side. And then we can do the other side. So other hand underneath, palms together, elbows down. Reach both arms up, palms facing forwards. Take a big inhale and then squeeze your elbows back and down. Feel that opening through the front of the chest again. Inhale, reach forward and up. And then exhale, elbows back and down. One more. Awesome job. Thank you for joining me for this really nice, luxurious stretch, and I will see you tomorrow for a full body workout. Bye.